deal, but I think that this looks like pretty neat. This here is
lights so bright. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's make this music flow. Let's take it to another level. Let's show the whole world what they all need to know. Christ is alive and he's coming back for yo. This is the sound of a hurricane. Representing God's representing no other name. The sound that is passing you by.
Welcome. I'm Craig Young, and this is the Going Home Show, a place where we look at people, families, ministries, and churches, and see where God is moving through His people. All right, so here we are. This is it. How many, people are here working, and
yeah, we
what does that look like?
Yeah, we've grown. Well, the seed started running the farm in 2006. Started with one manager and a couple of residents, and a couple of evening and weekend staff. And in terms of that, we've grown. Last year we had a dedicated vegetable gardener, as well as a dedicated farmer. Me as the manager, and we've it's grown quite a bit in as we've learned, as we've started off as a fairly straightforward sort of 12-step based farm, but about a year and a half ago we went through a bit of a revision process, a fairly significant one, where we put less of an emphasis on the 12 steps, which not as opposed to or anything, but we came up with a mission statement. Hope Farm is a restorative farming community grounded in Christian practice that offers a sanctuary of hope, and that's and the Christian practice is a pretty key thing. It's not just belief. I'm sure we all know people who believe stuff and just don't practice it.
It's more the spiritual formation piece?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. We've got our 4 core values, which we really try to emphasize, as opposed to rules. Faithfulness, faithfulness to God, but also to ourselves, telling the truth and stuff. Community, not only the community of the residents inside the house and the staff, but also, we live in a place, and so how to be good neighbors, that kind of thing, be good church members, participants. The third one is stewardship. We want to be good stewards of the land, we want to farm organically, sustainably. And then the last point is shalom, which means peace, of course means wholeness and contentedness and things being in the right place. And in each of their own ways, addiction sort of is antithetical to all those things. But so by holding those things up as a instead of focusing on what not to do, working on those things and focusing on, if you're faithful, if you live in community, if you're good stewards, if you seek shalom, then the addiction stuff will it will just disappear. Oh no, it'll become less of a priority.
That's right, because you're taking the focus off of the bad stuff and really focusing on the good stuff.
Yeah, and a principle of organic farming is instead of being pest negative, to be plant positive.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you instead of gardening as if the only thing that mattered were the bugs, and you need to kill all those bugs and create a sterile environment to create strong plants, healthy soil, then the plants can withstand, they can fight off disease and bugs. So that's, as a metaphor, is a handy one.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
How do people get here? Like, what's sort of the steps?
The most obvious one is people who have connections to the mustard seed. They may hear about us. They may pick up a pamphlet at the seed in the intake area or something like that. We have relationships. Again, it's relationships with an addiction worker at Wilkinson Road Jail, some detoxes, places like that. And so we often people will sort of vet them and sort of sift through and say, oh, I think this guy is the guy for you. And so it's a real blessing that way. Because the farm's 6 months, it's not a 30-day program where you can just sort of power through. A lot of literature talks about stages of change where people can be contemplating, pre-contemplation, like whatever they're doing just works for them and it's great, and then contemplating where they're, maybe, I've lost my wife and my kids and my job because of this, maybe there's a problem, to, I'm ready to move, like this action phase, and or preparing to act, then action, and those are the stages we want people to be in. And so then after they've been there for 2 months, they have the opportunity to live in just the third stage house for 6 months or so. I mean, it's a very individualized program. Yeah. And there, the guys are expected to be fully employed, doing something, either work or school, or volunteering.
Fully employed in the city here?
Well, yeah, or fully engaged and with whatever they want. One of our residents right now happens to be finishing up his grade 12. Okay. Another guy is a skilled trades guy and he's looking for work.
So they have to be moving forward in some.
Yeah, another guy we had was had some health limitations, and so he was fully employed by being engaged at the farm. So it's very individualized. The idea isn't that someone isn't just sitting there watching TV, but they're using what they've picked up here in a context, and it can be in some ways a safe place to fail. You know what I mean? So one of the things we found initially was when the guy would leave here, he would go in, with the absence of any structure, he would go into an apartment or something like that, and
just create a bad environment.
Yeah, or if you made a little mistake somehow, or then there wasn't a place to test it and work. Yeah. So that is helpful that way. Runs. See where the tall trees are? That's the border. The medium, the hairy trees are all ours, and it goes down there. And it goes down to that cottonwood trees over there. Yeah. And that line, the line going to the top. So that's 36 acres. It goes up and goes down.
That's a big property. Are there things that you've done to sort of establish yourself in the community that?
We have an equipment sharing arrangement with Providence Farm, which is it's a well-known place not too far from here. It's a therapeutic community that's geared more towards people with physical and mental disabilities. Nevertheless, we have
a good relationship.
Yeah, we have a good relationship. Yeah. And so. So we have an equipment sharing thing with them. I grew up in the valley here. The guy who's our farmer at the moment, Bob, he grew up 2 farms over, and he used to work on this farm when he was about 15. So
oh wow, cool.
So he knows the land. But also we both of us know people. Yeah. And so we do things like we'll share. Chicken crates. We've got not these birds, but our meat birds. You need crates to bring them in, but they're expensive. We bought the crates, and so we share them with other people. Yeah. Who grow smaller amounts. So things like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's neat. Where does the bulk of the revenue and income come from?
The mustard seed gets all of its funding either through public or private, private or like corporate donations. Okay. That kind of thing. Yeah, as part of the mustard seed, we're part of that. We don't have any government funding, and And what that does is it gives us a real freedom to pursue what we need to, what we feel our vision is.
Yeah.
The trouble with government funding can be, and I recognize it's a luxury on our part not being beholden to it, but if the funding dries up for a program, then you're stuck.
Yeah.
Or if you end up kind of chasing or massaging your program a little for the money. So
yeah,
maybe
that's
there's
right.
Maybe there's all good things, but it means that you're taking movements away from where you want to be. So say you want to work with First Nations youth, if there's a good goal, but if there's not money for that and there's money for people with disabilities, then you have to rejig your program for the short-term goal of getting funding for youth with disabilities, and and all these, so
You're constantly maneuvering.
So that's a reality that lots of organizations run with, and I admire them for it. But that's just where we are, and we also our goal, as I said, was to become revenue neutral too. That the products that we grow, our wheat, our hay, our chicken and our eggs and our vegetables and everything would, plus maybe other products like maybe building sheds or something in the winter, or firewood would offset the cost of running the farm.
Right.
So that's
yeah. Yeah, there's tons of lumber trucks going through here, so they just...
Yeah, so you get these big bins dropped off, like those big construction bins, the long ones.
Yeah.
One of those filled with wood, and so truckloads come and just dump it all. And then over the course of a couple of months, the guys will cut it and then split it and then stack it in here. So it stays dry, which is nice.
Do you guys deliver?
Yep. My name Joel Salatin in the US said, is to give our chickens a really happy life with just one bad day.
Yeah. So this would be the bad day?
Yeah.
That's
not
funny.
my joke, but
For you, what does your week look like?
oh, it can be anything.
Yeah, like I just...
yeah, it can be yeah, talking to a guy about something that's going on in his life, and then taking somebody else to the welfare office, and then pruning a tree.
Yeah.
Trying to find some funding source, teaching a class.
So what are some ways that you sort of put some boundaries around like family time and all that sort of thing? Like,
well, living off sites to start, but yeah, I just say I work Monday to Friday, and I really try to avoid the trap of, oh, I'm so important, I need to be busy all the time, and yeah, just having there's different balances. I ride my bike here, and that's a good balancer too. It's 15K, and so it's just there's a time when there's a lot of things going on, and it was a good way to not bring it home.
Yeah, totally.
So I was mad at some situation or stressed out about something. If I just hopped in the car, it would have come with me.
We've gotten the full tour, and I'm officially a farmer now. It's been all good. Thank you so much, Michael, for showing us around, for sharing us your heart. I have one last question. Michael, where are you going?
Going home.